guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I kind of want to talk to you guys about my time working with Best Buy. I was not a Best Buy employee. I worked for a third party website, like a third party company. So basically I worked as a brand ambassador, and then one of the companies I worked for a few years ago got a new client for a processor that's in cell phones, laptops, robots, and some printers that connect to the internet and such. And this job was advertised to me, like I got an email just like, hey, you know, want a fun, easy job you can do to make some extra cash over the holidays. I was like, what is this? Like, this sounds like a scam. Like, what even is this title? What's going on? Because I got that email like 2 or 3 times, and I just ignored it because I thought it was like a scam. Just based on the title, like, seemed a little cringy, like easy money on the holidays. Like, what are they selling? So I clicked on this email finally, opened it up, and I saw that it was from the agency that I worked with a few years ago, that I never expected to hear back from for reasons. I'll tell that story on a different day. But so I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. What are they talking? I saw it was for a technology company. I'm like, why is a company that I used to do demos in Mariano's for asking me to work for a tech company in Best Buy? Like, that's weird. What? So I was, checking it out, and I contacted them, let them know I was interested. And, we got to talking, I filled out the application, and because I already worked with that agency, some of my information was already in the system, so I got to skip some of that. And then, I did the training, and I was talking to people, and, I told them I didn't have technology experience. I don't know anything about tech stuff. I don't know anything about cell phones, computers, and processors. Like, my brain don't work that way. What? This is weird. Like, this is a weird job offer to get. So, I was telling them that, and they were just like, oh, well, we see you have a lot of experience promoting, so we're actually going to give you a raise for $1 an hour. I was like, okay, cool. And I told my boyfriend, I was like, I just got hired for a tech company. I told them I had tech experience, and they offered me more money. Like, what? Okay, I guess I'm doing this now. And at first, it was just like on the weekends. It started at the end of the year, like October, November, and then they had the option where if you wanted to, you can add additional days to work as well. And the job was, working like 4-hour shifts at Best Buy between 2 different locations in whatever area you're in around the country, because it was like a nationwide thing. I wasn't the only person targeted for this. It was other people too. So yeah, I started this job. I was alternating between 2 different locations near me. And it was simple. Like, they were just, and then they sent us another email like, you don't even have to sell anything. Just just show up to the store and talk to customers about this product. And you only have, like, you're only responsible for this one product with this one processor in it. Like, you're not even responsible for the other products that this company makes. Like, you're just responsible for this one product. Okay? And then occasionally they would kind of switch me around a bit, because this processor is also in the Google Pixel phones. It's also in this robot. So, like, sometimes I would promote one over the other, and then it's in the laptop. So, I'm not sure if I want to name the company. Well, I'll just name them. It's Qualcomm, okay? If you have, like, a smartphone, you probably have this processor in your phone. So yeah, I was literally there for like that product, but mainly the Lenovo with the Qualcomm processor. I was there in the computing section for this one product, okay, in this one section. Keep that in mind, okay? I'm a third-party vendor, so I technically I was not employed by Best Buy. I was not a Best Buy employee. Best Buy was not signing my checks, okay? I did not have to report to and answer to them. But for some odd reason, they made all the third-party vendors watch these videos on Best Buy training and like learn how to like process credit cards and try to sell people on getting a Best Buy credit card and all this other crap. I kind of just like skimmed through it. They had these videos to watch, and for each video they would like pay you a percentage depending on how long the video was, and I would log that in to the, I don't know what it's called, but it's a website that's separate from the training website. And then after you go to the training website and watch the videos, it will log it, and then you go into their regular website where the schedule is, and then you log your hours and everything that's in the calendar. It's so hard to explain, I swear, but it was, yeah. Anyway, so I was doing that job for a few months, and I was alternating between locations, and at first it was pretty simple. I just showed up there, and you know, if I saw somebody in the computing section of the store, I would talk to them. I would ask them questions like, hey, what are you looking for in a laptop? They told us to ask the customer like, what are they looking for in a laptop, and you know, get a feel for what type of person they are to see if they are a good fit for the computer. Like, would this computer work for them and their needs? If so, great. Tell them about the specs of the computer and see if they're interested. And when they show interest, you know, walk them over to the Best Buy employee and let the Best Buy employee know that, hey, this customer wants this computer, can you ring them up? And you know, once they're with the Best Buy employee, it's out of your hands, you know, they paid for the computer and out. That's how things were supposed to go. But what actually happened was, every time I would be talking to a customer and they show interest about the computer, and a Best Buy employee saw me talking to them, instead of letting me do my goddamn job that I'm there for like once a week just to do for this one product, this one computer that I was trained for, and they weren't, they would intercept the conversation. They're like, oh no, you don't want to listen to her, she's just a vendor, she knows what she's talking about. Meanwhile, I'm a double major computer science and engineer tech, and I've been working here for 3 years, and I know this girl like the back of my hand, and actually what you want is this computer over here, because it's this and that. That computer over there is like a cell phone. And be like, dude, what the fuck? I'm here for this one computer, this one product, and this one section of the store, not even the whole Lenovo brand, just this one thing, and you have one job. You're supposed to just sit there, let me talk to the customer about the product, and if they're interested, once they're ready to buy, you're just supposed to just check them out. I already did your job for you. All you do is ring them up. But every time I was talking to a customer about it, a Best Buy employee would interject. And I told my manager, and they talked to the Best Buy people, and nothing ever changed. So it was like, what is the point of me being here to sell this fucking computer to people and tell them the specs about it and get them excited about the product, and the Best Buy employees are supposed to just check them out, and they never do. They just interject and try and sell them on a different product. So yeah. And then sometimes customers will get confused and they would ask me questions about different things, and I would tell them, hey, I'm not a Best Buy employee, I can't really help you out with that. You may want to ask so and so. And sometimes customers will get mad at me to be like, how do you work here? You don't know what's going on, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, Karen, bye. Like, I don't have time for it. So this one particular location I will work at, this dude was particularly in now. When I first met him, I didn't know that he was a manager, because I just saw him as some guy. So I was just walking by and I just heard some man yell, smile. And I was like, no, like, fuck off. Because that's my natural response when men tell me to smile. I told them to fuck off. I told them to die. Like, literally go die somewhere. And stop telling me what to do with my freaking face. Or, I just say no. Or I just stare them down until they stop looking at me. Like, I don't owe you shit, my dude. Like, the fuck? I don't have to smile just because some random dude tells me to smile. Like, what's your problem? And then he just kept telling me, and I realized that he was the manager. He introduced himself later. He's like, I told you to smile earlier, and you didn't smile. I'm like, Why would I smile just because some random dude that I don't freaking know told me to smile? Like, why? Like, can you explain to me why I would do that? And, like, why does that make sense? And how can you make that make sense? So my first interaction with him was just, yeah, like, ew. Like, I don't know you. Don't tell me what to do with my face. I didn't realize that was, like, the store manager, which my only interaction with the store managers is really just supposed to be like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to be here for the next 4 hours. I'm going to be over here in this section. You know, just let you know I'm here. And they say, okay, cool, and bye. But then once they got familiar with me, and they saw me in the store, like, they knew what I was there for, and I would just literally wave at him, or I don't just let somebody know I was there, and I would go to the computer and sign in and sign out on my own. Like, I didn't need anybody to do that for me. So I didn't really have to have much interaction with him. The manager at the other store that I worked at, he was cool. Like, he would just see me, nod his head, and just keep going. Like he was really easygoing and chill. Like, he did not bother me at all. Like I would occasionally just say hi to him, and he would just be like, and keep it moving. Like, he was easygoing. I had no problems with him whatsoever. Nobody had any complaints about me at that store. Not the customers, not the employees, nobody. So just keep that in mind. Literally the same store, different location. Okay? And they're like 10, maybe 20 minutes apart, depending on traffic. So this store that I had the problem with the manager. Like, at first it was little things. Like, he would just tell me to smile, and I'd just be like, I'm just standing here. Why would I just smile for, like, literally no reason? Like, that doesn't make any sense. What? Like, I'm just supposed to smile because you just stood here and told me to smile? Like, what? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. And, you know, my natural inclination when men tell me to smile is just to be like, ew. You know, like, it just feels gross. And, so I would come, so like I would just be there, the store would be dead. Every time the store would be dead, he'll be like, smile. I'd be like, why? And then like he would be talking to me like, oh, I need you to smile because like the customers, and you know, you don't want to scare away the customers. And it's like, the store is dead. There are no customers. That's why you had the time to come over here and talk to me, because you don't have nothing else better to do. Like, what? Like, when I'm around customers and I interact with them, and like they say something funny, or I have a nice interaction with them, then like naturally I will. But smiling just to smile for no damn reason, who does that? And then anyway, so he kept doing this thing, and I just stared him down. He just kept staring at me and like trying to intimidate me into smiling at him. And I just thought it was the strangest thing. I'm like, I just literally said to him, like, the more you keep telling me to smile, the more resting bitch face you're gonna get. So you can stand there and scowl at me all you want to, but I'm not changing my face. And I said that around a bunch of his employees, and he saw that he wasn't winning that battle. So he just, you know, held his head down and, you know, walked away. Because you're not about to sit here and try and intimidate me. Like, what? Like, the way his whole demeanor was, he just, like, he wanted me to bow down to him or whatever because he was the manager of the store. And it was just, like, dude, like, I don't owe you anything. Just be, and then he, like, had these conversations with me, like, oh, well, you know, I'm the manager, you know, this is my house. And I'm like, this isn't your house. You don't own Best Buy. You don't pay the mortgage. If you do live here, I would love to call them and tell them that you're loitering. Like, what? I would love to tell them that you're squatting. Like, you don't own this place. You're not literally Best Buy. I don't have to smile just because you tell me to. It's not in my contract to smile for no reason. It's not in Best Buy's contract. Like, that's literally just something you made up for the hell of it. And you're mad because I won't comply with it. And then, like, he would, like, come in my space, like, my personal space, and I would move back, and then he would move closer, and then he would be closer than he was than the first time I moved, and I'd just be, like, so uncomfortable. And then like it got to a point where I would be like, I would see him come in, I would go the other way. I was there for a bunch of different products at this point. You know, I was there for the Lenovo computer. I was there for this smartphone mini. I don't know. It was like a watch, but it was a phone. It was like a miniature phone watch thing. It does everything a phone does. Does everything a watch does, and it's supposed to. And like the selling point of it was like, oh, this is for when you want to leave your phone at home, but you still want to do all the things on your phone. So I was there for that little device. And then there was this watch they were trying to sell. And then there was this creepy robot I was working. And then there was a Google Pixel phone. So like, if I saw him coming and I was in one section of the store, and I would go to a different section of the store, or like I would just try and go on break, and he would follow me into the break room and try and talk to me like, I'm on break right now. You're not about to sit here and harass me, and I'm on break. I'm off the clock. Like, leave me alone. Or like I would be, like I would go, like I would like put my food in the microwave, and then he'll leave and he'll come back and he'll talk to me while I'm waiting on my food in the microwave. It's just like, gosh. So because he kept like bothering me when I was on break, and like he wouldn't even say anything sometimes. He would just stand there and like scowl at me. Or like sometimes he'll be walking by, he'll just be like he'll be like, I'm standing right here, and he is walking like across from me like that, and like his body would be like this, but then his face would be, you know, like that. So it just looked very unnatural to have someone be like, and just keep walking, and he would just like stare me down, and then he'd be like, why, how come every time I walk by you don't smile? I'm like, because you just literally walk back and forth over in my section in particular just to stare me down and like try and intimidate me into smiling at you. How am I supposed to smile at that? What is there to smile about? Like, what? That makes no sense. Like, and then one time he was like, what do you want? Do you want to come to game night? We're having a game night. Want to come to game night? I'm like, no, I don't want to come to game night. I want you to stop harassing me. Well, I'm not going to do that because this is my house, and this is Best Buy. I wouldn't care if you're literally anywhere else, but you know, this is Best Buy, and this is my house, and this is how I treat my employees. And I'm like, I'm not your employee. You can't treat me like this. I'm not putting up with it. I don't have to do any of those things. It doesn't make any sense. And then there would be times in the store where it would be slow, and then he'll come up to me in particular, and then he would be like physically on me. Like he would come back, like I was standing here, and then he'll stand right next to me like this, lean against the counter, like, so what's up with you? What you not smelling? Like, what? How come every time I walk by you're not smiling? Like, because you literally just come to this area just to try and stare me down and intimidate me. Why would I smile at that? What is there to smile about that? Like, what is going on? And then, like, every time the store was slow, he would come up to me, he'll be like, see, you're scaring away all my customers. My customers aren't here because you're not smiling. Nobody's coming. And like, I was in the computer section of the store, and I was usually like at the back of the store, or like off to the side. So when customers come in, they don't see me unless I'm in front of the store. But even then, they're not really paying attention to me. They just come there for the thing that they come there for, and you know, they leave. Like, they don't care about whether or not I'm smiling or not, especially if I have no interaction with them whatsoever and they're like across the room. Like, what? And it just like, it didn't make any sense how he would be like, the store is slow, I don't have any customers, you scared all my customers away because you're not smiling. Like, how are you blaming me for the store being slow? The store was slow before I even walked in this fucking door. I'm only here 4 hours a day, 1 day a week, if even that much. And you're blaming me because the store is slow because I won't smile at you coming over here to try and intimidate and stare me down. What? I would try and walk away from this person and he would follow me. I would go on break and he would harass me while I'm on break. he was trying to give me a high five and I wouldn't give him a high five. So he would like tap me anyway. He's like, bitch, why are you touching me? If you move in my space and I move back, you move closer, I clearly don't want you in my space. Why are you in my space? If you have your hand up here to give a high five and I don't give you a high five, why would you touch me? Why? Why are you touching me? I don't want to be touched. If I don't want to touch you, what makes you think that I want you touching me? Like, it just did not make any sense. So yeah, like my last interaction with this person was particularly heated because I just lost it. I usually try and be respectful. I usually try to be mindful. I, like try to have my interactions with managers I work with be relatively short or whatever, but he really got on my freaking nerves. Like, he had followed me. He was like, oh, you don't want to smile at customers, and that's the reason why the store is slow. I'm like, the store is slow because it's slow. Unless there's a sale or it's the holidays, Best Buy is slow. People aren't banging down Best Buy's doors every day. People don't... The type of stuff that Best Buy sells isn't anything that people need in their everyday lives. People don't come to Best Buy every day or every week or every month to go buy a refrigerator, a washing machine, a laptop, headphones, like the really big expensive ones, or like video games or TVs or anything like that. Like, people go to bed, people buy those type of products like once every couple of years. Like Best Buy is not the end all be all for like technology, and a lot of people shop online, and there's other technology stores too that are better than Best Buy, and anybody who knows anything about technology isn't shopping in Best Buy. So how am I, a person that is only there for one product one day a week, getting blamed for the store being slow because I won't smile at your crusty ass trying to intimidate me, when you have done nothing but harass me this whole entire time that I've been in the store? And I'm like, I work at a different Best Buy and I don't have this problem with the manager. I've been doing this job for years and I haven't had problems like this with the manager. The problem is you. I'm a dental assistant. That's what I do in my day job. And I literally work in a dental office right now. And do you think the doctor comes up to me and tells me to smile every day? Do you think that if patients cancel and I'm in the back sterilizing instruments or cleaning the room or whatever, that I get blamed for the dental office being slow because I won't smile at patients? Which, by the way, pre-Rona, I would, like, hey, welcome to so-and-so's office. My name's Ellen. I'll be your assistant today. Follow me. I'll walk you to your seat, whatever. But I wouldn't just be smiling just to fucking smile. Like, when there is no interaction with people whatsoever, and it's not like a natural thing to do. And now I work at a different office, and we have the Rona. Nobody sees my face. I'm wearing 2 masks all day. So it didn't make sense to me why this man would like trying to intimidate me into smiling at him, and like how he would like follow me around and stuff. And then he like blew up at me. He's like, you come here and you just stand right here and you don't even try and sell these other products, and you're not trying to talk to customers about credit cards. All you talk about is the Lenovo and this Qualcomm thing. Like, yeah, I literally wear a shirt that says Qualcomm. And I was literally only responsible for that one laptop because it was the only laptop in the store that had Qualcomm in it. Why would I be trying to sell customers on all these other computers? Why would I be trying to sell customers on credit cards? Why would I be in the gaming section or in the refrigerator section or over by the washing machines or by the TVs or whatever, if that's not what I'm hired to do? I'm not a Best Buy employee. So he like blew up like, you don't even try and sell these other products. You don't try to sell no printers. You don't try to sell this. You're not even trying to sell anything. You're just talking to people about this. I'm like, yes, that's literally what I'm here to do. Like, it's almost like I'm doing my job and you're mad at me for not doing all these other jobs that you're not even paying me for. Mind-boggling. Who knew? If somebody hired you to do a job and you come there to do the job, that you would just do that job and leave. You wouldn't do all these other jobs that you're not responsible for. Mind-boggling. So, yeah. And then he reported me to the manager, and then the manager was like, hey, this manager said that he had a problem with you at the store. What's going on with that? And I told him like, hey, I've been being harassed for months by this person. He literally follows me after I try to walk away. He touches me when I don't want to be touched. He invades my personal space. He's been getting on my nerves for months. I didn't report it because I know you guys aren't going to do anything about it because he's a manager and whatever. And they're like, well, actually, we wish you would have said something sooner. There's nothing we can do about it now because you've been removed from that store. But if you're interested, you can continue working at the other store since there's no problems there, and we could have just moved you to a different store, and you would have had to deal with this at all. Like, we could have moved you to a store in your area, and you could have worked there instead. You didn't have to put up with this for months. But because it's gone on for as long as it has, and he's the one that approached us with the problem, it makes you look bad. So if a manager is harassing you, then you'll let us know, and we will remove you from that store, and you can go work at a different store. But I'm just so used to not reporting managers for harassing me in different jobs because nothing literally gets done because there's favoritism towards the manager, especially when it comes to retail, because usually they get promoted to manager because they're hitting certain sales goals and certain sales quotas. So the company is making the most amount of money from them than they are from the employees. So it's in their best interest to keep them on than it is to keep you on. So I knew the power dynamics in the situation that I was in, and I was just trying to tough it out for as long as possible until I found a full-time dental assisting job. But it didn't work out that way. And, they tried to send me to a different store, but after that experience, I really just wasn't interested in being involved with Best Buy at all. Aside from having problems with that one manager, and how all that blew up, I just found the job kind of boring. There are touchscreen computers and digital touchscreen pencil, and I would just go into I would download coloring pages, and I would go into there, and I would do coloring on the screen. One, it gives me something to do when I'm bored. Two, customers see me doing that, and you're like, whoa, that's interesting, that's neat. You can just draw on the screen like that. Oh, you can flip it, you can turn it into a pad, and then that opens up a conversation. And I could talk to them yeah, you can do this, and that. This is a 2-in-1 laptop. You can, do this on the screen. It's really good for taking notes. You can highlight, and I would show them the specs of the computer, talk to them about all those things, and try and sell them on it. And then I would get caught blocked by a Best Buy employee, and nothing. I'm like, you're so concerned about me smiling at you across the ass. You're not even doing anything about how your employees keep interrupting me every time I talk to a customer, and I'm literally just here to sell one product. You guys could have been making serious dough from me selling these laptops, but instead you prefer to cock block me. You haven't done anything about that. That's what I want, that and for you to stop harassing me. But you wouldn't. You just go on these rants on some, well, this is my house. I'm the manager of this store. This is how I treat my employees. I'm like, this is not your house. You do not live here. You're not paying mortgage. And if you do live here, I would love to report you for squatting and get you kicked out of your so-called house. I want you to stop harassing me. Who does that? Oh, what do you want, to come to a team meeting or something? We're having a game night. We have snacks. You want a pizza? I can order you some pizza. I want you to stop harassing me. I want you to stop trying to intimidate me. I want you to stop purposely walking past here, mugging me, trying to stare me down. I want you to stop interrupting my personal space. I want you to stop touching me when I clearly don't want to be touched. I want you to stop following me. He almost followed me into the bathroom one time. I walked away from him. He followed me all the way to the back of the store. And I went into the bathroom, and he walked and followed me, and when I went into the bathroom, up into the threshold of the door, stood there. And when I came out, he was in the hallway. I was just like, what the fuck? You just literally followed me to the bathroom. I would go out of my way to try and avoid altercations with this person and avoid interaction with this person. And when the weather warmed up, I got to the point where I couldn't even take breaks in the store anymore because he would just follow me every time I went on break. or he'd follow me every time I like go to the bathroom. It's like, oh my gosh, why are you following me? I'm literally trying to avoid you right now. Goodness. And I don't want to be alone in a room with this man that has been trying to intimidate me. And I'm just trying to eat my freaking lunch. So I would like go and walk around because the Best Buys were like in a mall area, like a shopping center area. So I would go and walk around different stores and kind of like eat my food, like standing up and like really walking around the store, like eating or like drinking or whatever, like eating fries and shit, or like taking a bite of like a sandwich. Because I just hated interacting with this person so much. I'm like, I'm literally a dental assistant. I work in a dental office, and this job, like no job has ever just like told me just to smile for no damn reason, even when you work in a dental office. Like that proves that this is your problem or so is mine, because I don't have this problem at the other store that I work at. I don't have this problem at any store that I've ever worked at, and I've been doing this job for years. Like nobody has ever like gotten mad at me for like not smiling at them for like no reason and like tried to intimidate me and stuff. Like what? I don't know. So yeah, like I just stopped working it, even though it was like on the weekends. It was a nice form of like extra cash or whatever. I could still be doing it now if I wanted to. Well, maybe not because of COVID. I don't know if they're open this year or if they're just doing online stuff or whatever, but it was already bad last year before the pandemic, and right now I don't want to deal with it. Like it would be a cool like job to have like an extra source of income. You know, it's a nice little side hustle, but the added stress of being harassed and on top of the job just being boring and dealing with Karens who report you to the manager because they ask you a question and you're like, hey, I'm not a Best Buy employee, and they're like, she said she's not an employee and she works here and she's wearing a polo. I'm like, yeah, but did you read the polo? It says Qualcomm, not Best Buy. If you notice, this polo is black. Everybody else's polos are blue. Or like I will have one that was gray or white. Yeah, my polos were gray and white. I had two. And everybody else's were either black or blue. Like, do you not notice that? I'm not wearing anything that says Best Buy. And I'm just in this area and you just asked me about video games. Like, I don't know anything about video games. I'm not technically an employee here, but you know, you can ask so-and-so. They're over there. They can help you. Well, I'm reporting you to the manager because you're not helping me and you're lying saying you don't work here. Like, occasionally I've seen people like that, but it was rare. Most people kind of understand the whole situation and be like, oh, okay, thanks. But yeah, I don't know. That whole experience just made me dislike the whole Best Buy experience and just hate being in Best Buy. Like, it would do something to my brain being there for hours. Like, the whole vibe of the place. And now I like never want to spend too much time in a Best Buy ever again for the rest of my damn life. Because this guy insisted on harassing me because I would not smile at him when all he has done is try to intimidate me. Yeah. I watched a different YouTube video and he talked about how Best Buy has a policy against harassment. So I couldn't report him since this happened only like a few months ago. So I'm gonna see if anything comes of that. Because I'm no longer there, I can't really talk. He would get reprimanded or fired or whatever, but I don't know. I know the power dynamics in which I'm dealing with, and I don't really expect too much out of it, and I don't want to waste my time. It was just easier for me to move on. But if reporting this person and maybe some other people have reported to kind of adds fire to the situation, then I'll go about doing things this way. I just wanted to share this story because I just found it so strange. This is the oddest experience I've ever had in a job before. I literally was not his employee. It was quite literally none of his business. Because I was not mean to the customers. I was not rude to the customers. I was always kind to customers. Sometimes I ended up talking to Best Buy customers about products that I was completely not responsible for and selling them on that product. Because I've heard other people pitch the product to other people and they would be busy, and I was like, yeah, you know, you can do this, this, and this, and then walk them over to an employee and hand them over and they just get the sale. Like, and they don't have quotas, but they do. Like, they don't have sales quotas in terms of they get paid on commission, but they have sales quotas in terms of they have to sell a certain amount per quarter or per month in order to maintain their status as an employee. So yeah, so they would have like a goal of like $10,000 a quarter in sales. Otherwise, they would no longer be able to keep their job. But if they do sell that or exceed that, they would not get any commission from it. They just get paid minimum wage. So it was stressful, especially because Best Buy is really slow and more people are starting to order online. And Best Buy already sells products that are not necessarily everyday products. There are things that people don't think about every few years. So, and unless it's the end of the year, Black Friday, or they have a particular sale on anything, then most people aren't really thinking about them. So, yeah, I don't know. In other words, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Like, what do you mean? I wonder if anybody else has had a similar experience to this working at Best Buy or any other stores. If anybody who is actually a Best Buy employee or former has any experience with this type of behavior, whether or not it's acceptable in the company, I don't know. I was only there for a few months, and the time that I was there, I was literally only there like one day at this location. Like, I worked different locations, but each location I was there once a week, and I was just alternating different days. So yeah, strange world we live in. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'll see you guys later. Bye.